Здравствуйте, доброе утро.
Здравствуйте.
Just a couple of words to introduce yourself, please.
Sure. In English or in
Yeah, well, in Russian if you can.
Меня зовут Olivia. Я изучаю русский язык в Durham. And so last summer I went to Kostroma in June. It was actually, the trip to Kostroma was one of the factors of why I chose Durham University, because I remember coming up, I missed the open day, but I came up and I spoke to Olga, and Olga told me all about this trip where you could go to Kostroma to the summer school and you could teach English and stay with a host family, and I just thought that sounded really, really good. And I knew it was quite a competitive trip because a lot of people wanted to go on it, but we were really lucky that Olga managed to find 2 separate summer schools, so everyone who wanted to go on the trip could go. And it was such a great experience. I was really nervous beforehand because I'd never been to Russia before, and obviously in the news you hear a lot of the politics going on and stuff, but the people were so friendly. I stayed with a host family, and the host sister who was looking after me, Jane, was lovely. She spoke really good English, which was handy because my Russian I could still practice Russian with her. So I still did a little bit of, new vocab, and she helped me with that. And her boyfriend also lived in the house, and he didn't speak any English, so that was quite good because I had an opportunity to try out some of my Russian and see if we could understand each other, which was fun. And so we were at the summer school in Kostroma for 2 weeks, and there were 4 of us from Durham. We all had a different class, and the class was split based on age group. So I was teaching the oldest kids who they were a little bit sassy sometimes, but I felt like I kind of won them round by the end. And they were so lovely and really enthusiastic most of the time, really willing to learn and participate in everything. And the summer school itself was really fun. It was a very friendly atmosphere, and the leader Valentina was very fun as well.
Yes.
It was a great experience. And at the end of the summer school we had a big kind of celebration on the last day. We all did plays, so we all prepared a play with our class, and then we showed it, and it was like a really nice way to end the trip.
So with the language, there was not much problem with the language barrier, so you said English or Russian, practiced Russian. Any cultural observations?
There were definitely some cultural differences. One of the things that I noticed was the Russian women they look immaculate all the time, so they always have a really long skirt. They dress quite formally, or quite, they dress properly. They always look very smart. And we were there in our scruffy trainers and shorts and t-shirts and all that, so that was definitely something I noticed. And they always have perfectly manicured nails, their hair is perfect, so that was definitely something to take on board. And Ella and I joked that maybe by the end of our year abroad next year we'll be looking as good as they will. Also, the food was pretty different. I really enjoyed trying a lot of Russian food, and most of it I really liked.
You liked,
so they had greshka, we had pelmeni, borscht. We had a kroshka as well, which was the one thing that I absolutely couldn't stand. That was really, that was pretty interesting. But overall,
salads with kvass poured on top.
Kvass by itself we tried as well, and I really liked that. But just the mix of the two was something quite unusual. Also, I noticed at the camp, and just in general, I did feel like there was a little bit of different treatment, like for the men compared to the women, which is something that I picked up on. Compared to England, I just felt like it was definitely an interesting.
How was it different? Were women treated with what? Would you say?
I would say
patronizingly, or
slightly,
with contempt, or what? Or
slightly patronizing, but also so on our trip there were 3 girls from Durham and 1 guy, and Mathieu was like raised on a pedestal,
really?
and he was.
And you think it was just because he was a guy?
Yeah, honestly, it sounds bad, but there would be no other reason. We all, and for example, at the end of the course, everyone got a certificate, and he was the person whose name was printed on the bottom of each certificate, who signed all the certificates, and the only reason we asked Valentina if we could sign them all, and she said, yeah, that's fine, but we do normally get a man to sign them. So we thought, okay, yeah. But that was the only...
Sounds strange to me.
Yeah, that was the only negative experience I had. Like I said, their hospitality was amazing. Honestly, it was the highlight of my summer, and I had a pretty good summer. So just
it's good that you were not disappointed.
Not at all. And it really, my expectations were really blown away. And also, I think going into the year abroad, having been to Russia, is something really good, because you know what the culture's like. You've experienced living, not only, I think visiting Moscow, it's a tourist. It's a touristy kind of thing, so definitely a different experience. But having lived with Russian people for more than just a couple of days, I think it made me really excited about my year abroad.
I think it's probably long enough, but it's quite short for you to be either homesick or
exactly.
Manageable.
And at the end of our trip, we also went to Moscow for a few days, and the World Cup happened to be on, so that was a really cool experience. But Moscow itself is really, really a great city. And I came home and I said to my family, oh, you've got to go, you've got to visit me while I'm there on my year abroad. It's really cool.
Are you going to Moscow in your year?
I am.
Yeah, so summing up, you would say that
I could not recommend this experience enough. It's so good.
You got a lot of it.
And I definitely feel more confident this year, just having listened to a lot of Russian. I think my accent's possibly improved, and just knowledge of vocab and grammar a little bit, but definitely just more confidence. Definitely, if you get that opportunity, take it. Yeah,
so that's how you feel, and I must tell you that I noticed that you are more confident this year. And I just wanted to tell that the plays that we're doing, Chekhov's story, you're so good. You play so nicely. You are really into that role, into the character.
Really
Is that how you feel? Because the air and how you move and how you look and all gestures and everything. I'm just, I'm enjoying just watching you. Honestly,
it's really good.
It's great.
And these kind of opportunities, I think, is what makes Durham, or Russian at Durham, really unique, having that opportunity to put on Chekhov plays, to go to summer camps. I just don't know if other unis offer that same extracurricular experience. So
Thank you very much indeed, Olivia, and good luck with your studies and anything that you do in life.
Thank you.
All the best. Bye bye.